And good morning, Newton Falls. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Lynch. I'm the city manager here in Newton Falls, Ohio, and this is our morning update brought to you on Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings at around 7:30. It's not always exactly at 7:30 as we resolve any technical issues. In fact, this morning we had a bird chirping into our studio, a real bird. So we resolved that issue, and here we are on the air again as we are every Tuesdays and Fridays. Well, we had a wonderful weekend, and I especially want to call attention to the fact that our new playground equipment brought to us through a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and your city council was opened with a ribbon cutting Saturday morning. And I will tell you, kids are all over that particular facility. There you see the countdown for cutting of the ribbon there. There's the mayor in the middle, and our finance director, our state representative, Sandy Braymeyer from one of our council wards 4, and Zach Savet from Ward 1, Lyle Waddell from Ward 3, and Terry Alberini at large, and also Tim Stinson from our Recreation Commission. And just a beautiful thing to see on that Saturday morning. Stop by the community park to see that beautiful orange and black new playground facility. In addition to that, I'm happy to report that hoops are back. Based on the state requirements for the State Department of Health, we have put the rims back up for basketball again. So as we've been talking, flattening the curve and then reemerging into the Ohio economy. What a great thing. And speaking of great things, I want to remind everybody that we are doing free COVID-19 testing for any resident of Newton Falls Village, age 18 or older. So how do you register? And you do have to be registered. Just call my office, 330-872-0806. And the tests are taking place the week of July 6th and the week of July 13th. And yesterday, my phone was ringing off the hook as many residents were taking advantage of this free testing program locally right here in Newton Falls. But you do have to register. Dial 330-872-0806. Well, this morning our topic is going to be weather and what we can do about weather. And what I mean by that is I'm going to sort of give a little bit of the background about what happened in Newton Falls over the last day or so and what happened just prior to that to put things in context. We had some severe yesterday in the region, severe weather in the region, and that meant that a cell of intense weather was somewhere in the vicinity of Lordstown and was moving eastward. And in fact, at one point in time, there was what the Doppler weather people call a sign of some rotation, although it appears no one saw a funnel cloud. And there was a sign of some rotation, but that all moved to the east. As a result of that, we did not sound our siren. And in addition to that, we did not have code red sending out messages at that time. And to put it in context, back on June 10th, some of you got some code red signals about a severe thunderstorm, and we did sound the tornado siren, but that was because we got a call from the 911 call center instructing us to do so. That's the only reason we sounded it. And I personally, as city manager, don't have access to that equipment, but our police department does. And they're instructed if they get information, or rather they get instructions from the 911 call center to sound that alarm, they will sound that alarm. It's not sensible to get into a discussion with the 911 emergency center, because if they believe that we are in danger, then we sound the alarm. However, that is all separate from the messages we get from something called code red. And that's really what I want to talk about today, because it's important for people to understand code red, what it means, how it works, and why you must sign up for code red, especially in a town like Newton Falls that has had its experiences with weather. We all know what happened in 1985. So on our live line right now is a gentleman who's with Code Red, and that's Troy Harper. Good morning, Troy. How are you today?
Hey, David, good morning. Thank you for the time this morning.
Great. Thanks so much for coming on our program. Troy, uh, before we get into the details of what happened yesterday, tell us a little bit, what is Code Red and why are we so fortunate to have Code Red as part of our service package for our residents here in Newton Falls?
Absolutely, David. Thank you so much. So, Code Red is a solution that will notify residents of Newton Falls in the need of an emergency or for general information that may be relevant to their daily lives. So, OnSolve is the company that owns the product Code Red. We've been doing notifications across the country for governments for 22 years. And we currently serve more than 10,000 communities across the country. So a very popular system has saved thousands and tens of thousands of lives and helped in recovery of nearly 4,000 missing children over the years.
Sure. Now, Troy, how does Code Red work? Don't get too deep into the weeds because I'm a
Sure.
little bit technology challenged, but generally speaking, how does it work?
Absolutely. So we've got an agreement with the National Weather Service. So, by the way, the National Weather Service is the only entity who is authorized to issue watches and warnings to the citizens of the United States. TV stations and other companies can't do that. All warnings and watches for weather, severe weather specifically, come from the National Weather Service. We take that message, interpret it based on the location of the storm and its directional path, and we make phone calls, text, and emails. We also push notifications out to our mobile alert app for those folks in the immediate warning area, or what is called the storm-based area. It's a polygon or a fenced area that the National Weather Service thinks is under the
Yeah,
greatest
Tom,
threat.
can you, Troy's talking about that, get into this polygon. I think it's important people understand the geometric limitations regarding the polygon. So go ahead, Troy, talk about that
Yeah,
polygon, and Tom's going to bring that up, I believe, while you're talking.
absolutely. Yeah, so in the video, you'll notice that there's different representations of how messages go out from the city who can initiate the notification or automated from the National Weather Service. And notifications are sent upon issuance of that polygon. So the polygon is, think of it as a fence. The National Weather Service puts fence posts around the area that is in the immediate threat. Code Red receives that notification of the threat, and in this case, this week it was a tornado warning. A few severe thunderstorm warnings also around. And so that fenced area is
Tom,
those
go
folks
back
who
to
are in
that
immediate
polygon,
area.
would you please?
And
I'm
what's
sorry, Troy, I
great
want to
about
make
this,
sure people see this polygon while you're talking. Go ahead.
absolutely understandable. And so what's great about this is there's no over alerting. And although folks may have experienced some bad or inclement weather, it may not have been necessarily severe based on the criteria of the National Weather Service. And as you indicated earlier, David, Doppler indicated rotation in the clouds gave concern enough for the meteorologist in charge to issue a tornado warning for this immediate area that you see on the screen.
Yeah, I want to stop you for a minute, Troy. On the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, you see the polygon, and then there's a blue dot, which for the purposes of this polygon represents Newton Falls. So the National Weather Service established that polygon, and within that polygon, they issued a warning for severe thunderstorms. And then later on, they issued a warning related to the possibility of a funnel cloud. But as you can see, Newton Falls was outside that polygon. And in fact, as a matter of course that really took place in reality, that polygon began to move to the east. So that little blue dot of Newton Falls was never within the polygon, and therefore was, I'll call it a, for lack of a better term, Troy, I'll call the polygon an area of danger. And Newton Falls was never in that area, right?
That's correct, yeah. And so throughout time, as these storms progress, new polygons may be issued, usually within 20 or 30 minutes of the initial polygon as it moves or expands. The thunderstorms, specifically those that create tornadoes, tend to blow up very quickly and then die down very quickly as they move across the state.
Sure. So as a result of Newton Falls being outside the polygon, people that are subscribers to Code Red in Newton Falls did not get a severe thunderstorm warning, did not get a tornado warning, and that's consistent with the directives of the National Weather Service. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Absolutely, yeah. So the folks in Newton Falls were not in immediate danger, according to the National Weather Service.
Yeah. And then that polygon continued to move east, and everything was peace and quiet. in Newton Falls. And by the way, folks, so you understand, Code Red is looking very carefully at these polygons, and the polygons are fairly large in size, so that if you're outside that polygon, you're in a situation where things where you're outside the potential danger zone. So we don't take it lightly. And if our community got anywhere inside that polygon, even by a tiny bit, you'd immediately send out those warnings, wouldn't you, Troy?
Absolutely. Within seconds of the issuance from the National Weather Service, phones will begin to ring, text emails will go off, mobile alert app pushes will be issued immediately.
Yeah. And by the way, I want everybody to understand that on June 10th, that funnel cloud was somewhere in Columbiana County. And some people said, well, gee, that was a lot further away than this polygon was from us in Newton Falls. And yet the tornado siren was sounded. And there was an independent reason for us sounding that alarm. And again, that's because our 911 call center became apprehensive and thought, just out of exercising a high level of caution, they would instruct us to sound that siren, and we did so. So if we're within that polygon and there's a rotational issue related to tornadoes, we'll sound the siren. If we get a call from the 911 center, even if we're outside of the polygon, we will sound that siren. And we're going to do that because we want to keep you safe. But really, the key to your safety, not everybody can hear that siren. The key to your safety is making sure you're registered for Code Red, because as Troy said, the moment we are seconds within that polygon, you're going to get a notification on your phone. You're going to get a verbal on your phone. You're going to get a text on your phone. You're going to get an email on your phone or on your desktop. And you'll get a verbal communication, even if all you have no technology, just a little old hardline at your home. By being registered, you will get that message. And Tom, the most important thing for Newton Falls residents is to register, because if you're not registered for Code Red, you're not going to be able to send them the message. Is that a fair way of putting it, Troy?
Absolutely, yeah. So folks need to register. It's imperative. Not just residents, but visitors and folks who may work in Newton Falls and live somewhere else, right? So the boundary of the city is actually the notification area. So anyone who interacts in, around, or near Newton Falls should be registered on the Code Red system. There's a couple simple ways to do that. By simply texting the letters NF to the short code 99411. So if you'll send a text to 99411 and you'll just simply enter the letters NF in the body of the text message, you'll get a link back that allow you to enroll in the city's webpage.
Hey, Troy, I want to interrupt you for a minute.
Page.
Does it have to be capital N, capital F, or does it matter if it's lowercase?
It actually doesn't matter.
Okay,
David,
great.
That's a great question. Yeah, and so once you get that link back, click the link, you register. And then because it's geo-specific, in other words, we want to know exactly where you're located so we know when to warn you and when not to warn you so we don't over-alert city residents. You'll put in your address, either home or work, or another address you may want to put in, grandma's address or your kid's school when we finally get back to school, maybe the city park where you hang out quite a bit. They put different addresses in, you monitor those locations. And you'll start to receive those notifications as they're either issued by the city or the automated alerts that come from the National Weather Service.
Yeah, Troy, I want to make sure our residents understand another thing. Every now and then somebody says to me, well, I put in my address and the Code Red program isn't recognizing that as a Newton Falls address. And we're working on that technology. But I want to tell everybody, we are a small community. So if for some reason that address isn't being recognized when you register, put in the address of Newton Falls City Hall, which is 19 North Canal, Newton Falls, Ohio, 44444. 19 North Canal, because Newton Falls is such a small area, we're approximately 2.5 square miles, that if you just register putting in the address of Newton Falls City Hall, you are going to get all the Code Red messages. And by the way, for people that have had the issue I've described, the solution that I've described also works. So the City Hall address is 19 North Canal, and go ahead and put that in, and you will rest assured you'll get everything. Now, Tom, everybody who registers gets these emergency signals, and because Newton Falls has established a contract with Code Red, our residents aren't paying anything by registering, right? I mean, it's a free service because their city government has paid for the service.
That's right, and that's one of the great benefits of this is that register yourself, your spouse, get your kids registered, your parents, share it with a friend. The success of the system is only as good as the amount of folks who have subscribed, and so we want everybody in Newton Falls to sign up.
Yeah. Now, Troy, there's an additional item that, everything you sign up for in life, even if it's free as this is, always has an added feature you can pay for if you want to. And this is optional, folks. But I do want Troy to describe it because I think it's neat. And I'm registered for Code Red now, but after this broadcast, I'm going to sign up for this additional feature. It's very cheap, but it's kind of cool. And I call it Code Red Follows You. Troy, tell everybody about that feature.
Absolutely, David, and great timing. So the Code Red Mobile Alert app is a free download on either iOS, your Apple devices, or your Android devices. You don't have to register for this app. And it also pushes those same Code Red alerts that are issued from the National Weather Service or Newton Falls directly to your device, no matter where you are. So when you're at the grocery store or you're downtown doing some shopping, you'll get those notifications right on the smartphone that you carry in your pocket.
And Troy, by the way, I want to make sure people understand one aspect of this. So if I'm registered for Code Red, and this is still part of the free service, if I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and my family's back home in Newton Falls, I'll get that message on my phone in Atlanta that Newton Falls is in danger, and I can call back my family in Newton Falls and say, hey, I'm getting these messages. Is that a fair way of putting it?
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and that's part of the free service.
That's right. Not only can you monitor your home and your school and other places you visit, but then by downloading the Code Red Mobile Alert app, it follows you as well. Now, we keep that information very secure, very private. We have tens of millions of contact points in our database today that are only used for Code Red. We don't sell our database. We don't third party. The Code Red product only contracts with government entities, and so we understand folks and their privacy. I've got myself in there. I've got my family in there. So the same security that I would expect for myself, we absolutely offer to the residents of Newton Falls. Now, one other additional benefit, David, by downloading that app is you get a free extended weather. We've reduced that. There was a one-time charge at one point. We've reduced that to completely free by simply downloading.
Oh my gosh! Well, wait a minute. Let me stop you for a moment. I sort of got everybody prepared to pay this one-time charge. I feel like I'm doing an ad for Ginsu Knives. It's free now, right?
It is free, yes, sir.
Well, what is so this service, which you're talking about, folks? And by the way, I'm learning this live on the air because I thought there was a one-time charge. So if you go back to my scenario, I'm in Atlanta. I get a message that there's dangerous weather in Newton Falls. I call my family because it's coming to my phone in Atlanta. But this additional service, also free if you download it, tells me if the weather is dangerous in Atlanta. In other words, a little halo of warning follows me so that I'm safe wherever I am. Is that a good way of putting it?
Absolutely. And not only anywhere in the country, really, but specifically around your neighborhoods and communities. We have dozens of other communities. As an example, Cleveland and Cuyahoga County are both clients. So as folks travel in and around the state or as they travel from airport to airport, that technology follows them. I myself travel frequently, and as I land at an airport and I turn my phone from airplane mode back to regular operation, frequently I'll get a local notification from a Code Red community giving me general information, whether it's a boil water notice or sometimes it is that tornado or severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, go back again, Troy, so folks know how to register for the mobile app because it's also, so everything we've talked about today is free, and I like to call the mobile app Code Red Follows You and Keeps You Safe Wherever You Are. It's kind of a long name. What is the methodology to be signed up for that?
Certainly. So you can go to your favorite app store, either on your Android or iOS device. Just search Code Red Mobile, and you'll see it pop up with our logo there. You simply download it. It's a free download.
And by the way, I have a Droid, so I can go to something called the Play Store.
That's right, the Google Play Store or the Apple iTunes Store. And either of those locations, you can download this app completely free. And again, we keep your information completely private. It is a find me, follow me technology. Look, we don't care who you are. We just care where you are. so that we can deliver you the critical messages that may be life-saving at a time that you need them the most.
Yeah, by the way, I want to remind folks why this is so important. Tom, if you can bring us some of the video from 1985. In 1985, a little more than a year ago, we had some events occur in Newton Falls that are described as historic. The wind speed exceeded 300 miles an hour. And I was talking with Troy about this a little bit earlier this morning. Folks, that's an F5. And somehow God had his mantle of protection over Newton Falls to this extent, and that is in Newton Falls proper, we had no loss of life. But when an F5 blows through your town, you can see those shots of utter and complete destruction. Buildings that weren't knocked down, buildings that were demolished as if some kind of nuclear holocaust had taken place. And of course, that was May 31st, 1985. And here in Newton Falls, we are highly sensitive to that. In fact, I'll have to say this, it's been 25 years and people are still living on edge. Tom, you can come back to the studio if you would. People are living on edge, and with good reason. We appear to be in, I like to call it the Northeast Ohio version of Tornado Alley. Certainly not like you'd experience if you lived in Oklahoma, but still an area that seems particularly vulnerable to the idea of the formation of funnel clouds and dangerous and high winds. So folks, Code Red shouldn't sound like some fancy new technology that you might want to think about on an optional basis. The key for survival when high winds or tornadic activity occurs is early warning. Troy, can you talk about that a little bit, how important early warning has become in the saving of lives?
Yeah, specifically for tornadoes. So in my previous career, I spent 20 years in local government working in emergency management, protecting a coastal county here in Florida where I live and where our office is located. And you said it right, David, that tornadoes are deadly. In an average tornado, you're only going to have 3 to 4 minutes of potential warning. That's not a lot of time. And so it is imperative in even a severe thunderstorm, which can be deadly as well. As the winds go over 50, 60, 70 miles per hour, debris flying, trees are falling, power lines coming down. It's imperative you get those notices. Information about traffic impingement or an issue downtown.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the polygon. You realize that is an apron of warning, so to speak. That kind of looks like a rectangle with one end of it being wider than the other end. That zone of danger creates the opportunity for you to get a warning, and that zone of danger activated and described by the National Weather Service goes to the folks at Code Red, and then Code Red gets to your phone, your email, your telephone, your voicemail, and when you register, they get all your contact points, and it communicates them to you so that you've got the warning. Troy said 3 to 4 minutes might be all that you have. The more warning you have, the more chance you have to get to safety. So folks, we have the siren. But if you sign up for Code Red, you're certainly going to have a greater advantage than just relying on the siren. Remember, the siren is something that we're activating based on other information we're getting, but not everybody can hear the siren in high winds. It's a mechanical device, a digital device that gets to you when you're at a party, when you're playing music in your home. And in this world we live in, people go around with their headphones on constantly. My gosh, these landscapers I see with headphones. See kids walking home from school with their heads in a phone. And I don't know how it is they're managing to walk across the street at the same time, but they are with the headphones on. They're dedicated to their devices. You care about your family. We care about your family. We want you to survive. And we live in a highly dangerous area when it comes to severe weather, especially in these hot, humid days. Now listen, folks, this is the third time we've talked about Code Red during these morning briefings, and we'll do it some more. And we're not going to relent until we have 100% of the folks in Newton Falls signed up for Code Red. Here's all you have to do. Text the letter NF, the letters NF, which stands for Newton Falls, to 99411. And then the registration process will follow itself. If for some reason you have any confusion at all, you go ahead and contact me directly at the city manager's office, and I'll walk you through it. My number is 330-872-0806. So if you have one of these ancient Egyptian devices called a flip phone, that's okay. We're going to walk you through it. We have a partner with this company called OnSolve, and they do this as part of their business model. But they're in the business of saving lives, and we're glad to have them as a partner. Troy, thanks so much for coming on our morning briefing today. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you, David, and thanks to you and your staff for doing a great job of keeping the residents informed. Thanks for making Newton Falls a great Code Red community. Keep doing the good work.
No problem. We'll have you back again. We're going to get that 100% level, Troy. God bless and have a great weekend.
You as well, sir. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Well, folks, I just said have a great weekend. It's only Tuesday. Oh, live television, you can't beat it. Folks, do sign up for that Code Red. We have all kinds of controversies that go on in the city over this issue, that issue, city council meetings discussing this or that. But when it comes to protecting our families, our loved ones, our property that we spent a lifetime trying to build and put together, Code Red is absolutely essential. And so don't forget to text NF to 99411. The letters NF to 99411. Or you can also go to onsolve.com and you'll see an icon that says register. So if you just want to go to their website, OnSolve. And by the way, OnSolve, ONSOLVE, ONSOLVE.com. Well, folks, as I get towards the end, I always say, put your faith in God. Thinking about these challenges and threats to our own very life certainly makes you think about what is spiritual, the afterlife, the importance of our families, and relying on God for protection. So keep those prayers going. And we are emerging slowly but surely from the COVID-19 era. Try to be safe along the way as well. And as I say at the end of each one of these broadcasts, God bless America and God bless the city of Newton Falls.